Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the new 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat. The F-150 Lariat is going to be the most popular trim level that you can buy an F-Series truck in, and that's because it is going to be offered with a lot of cool features, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, but also for 2025, there are some big changes. Now, necessarily, the Lariat trim level provides you with the utmost comfort and convenience, so that way you don't have to upgrade to something like a Limited, a Platinum, or King Ranch. Now let's get to those changes, shall we? The big change for 2025 is that everything now basically goes to the 502A package. That includes your wireless charging pad, the keypad on the door, as well as your ambient lighting. Now, with that being said, the other thing for 2025 as well is that Ford no longer offers the genuine leather seats. They now have to be offered in the so-called ActiveX, or synthetic leather material, which to me is not too bad. I've sat in a lot of Fords with the ActiveX material, and it is pretty comfortable, but definitely I would suggest you go and sit in one yourself to kind of make sure that you do feel comfortable. With that being said, also one other thing for 2025 is that this is a brand new color for this year, as we'll talk about here in just a moment. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Ford, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see on the key, it's going to be your traditional Ford key fob, and it does feel pretty nice. You're going to have your usual buttons here on the key as well, which includes your lock, unlock, your remote start, your trunk release, and your panic alarm. To remote start this truck, just make sure the vehicle is locked, and double click the remote start button twice, and the engine will power itself up. This vehicle in particular also does have the 3.5 liter power boost motor, as was discussed under the hood. And when you're finished, just go ahead and double click the remote start function again, and the vehicle will power right off. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, this one here does have the black appearance package. So as you can see, your grille is going to be completely blacked out. Same thing goes for your blue oval, which is now a black oval. You do have a front-facing camera here, which is very nice. You do also have your front parking sensors, and then you do have your black recovery hooks at the bottom. You do have your standard LED daytime running lights with xenon projector headlamps, as well as fog lamps down below. Come over to the wheels and tires. We're taking a look at a set of Hankook Dynapro AT2s on 20-inch wheels. These measure 275, 60R20s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and come to the door handle, there's a touch sensor inside. Just put your hand in, and the vehicle will indicate unlocking, allowing you to jump on inside. And then when you're finished, close it up. Tap the spot button here. The vehicle will indicate locking by sounding the beep one time. The exterior color is space white metallic with the ebony ActiveX leather interior. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some soft touch material on top, although it's a bit plastic material. However, you do have some soft material down here. You have some white stitching right here, as well as along the side here, which is very nice. You have an aluminum door handle. You do have your 3-person memory seating, your unlock and lock switches, your power mirror controls, powered by your power window controls. You have a little storage area down here. 2 good-sized map pockets here, or not map pockets, but 2 storage pockets here. 1 area for a small cup holder, and your Bang & Olufsen speaker here in the door jamb. Along with that smart key access system, the F-150 does come standard with push-button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or in the vehicle itself, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. The Ford F-150 does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped, racking pinion power steering wheel with controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. Levers going to house your cruise control settings, your audio controls here for the volume, hands-free voice. To the right, you're going to have your controls for the instrument cluster, seat track, as well as your hands-free phone. Now coming up here, we're taking a look at a fully digital instrument cluster here with 2 main gauges followed by 4 smaller gauges. To the left, you have your tachometer. To the right, you have your speedometer. On top, you're going to have your coolant temperature, oil temperature, or excuse me, your oil level, your oil temperature, as well as your miles to empty. As you can see, you can cycle through a couple different things here within the instrument cluster that you can change, and that's going to happen via the steering wheel. So as you can see, it's going to bring us to our main menu, which includes our My View, trip and fuel, gauges, off-road, towing, status/information, navigation, phone, audio, vehicle maintenance, and settings. We do have our 12-inch productivity display here, and as you can see, for 2025, nothing has really changed. Now, with that being said, this is going to be kind of the home page where you'll be coming into every time you start the vehicle up, and that's going to be through our audio system. And as you can see here, it's going to show what's playing on the audio system. You have your sources up here, which does include your AM, FM, and Sirius XM radio. You have your direct tune over here, and then your sound for your sound adjustments. Seek track is right here. You can change the radio stations with the plus and minus signs. You have your presets down here, followed by your submenus down at the bottom. With that being said, moving over to our phone, that's where you can add a phone to the vehicle's Bluetooth system, or you can connect to a phone that's already paired in the vehicle. Coming over to your navigation system, this is where you'll get the newest version of Sync 4, although not really new. It's been out for like a couple months now or so. And as you can see, it does look really, really nice. And you do have your little side icons here, which includes your menu here, source destinations, recent destinations, and saved destinations. Overall, the quality of the navigation system looks pretty nice. Come over to your phone list. This is where, again, you'll be able to kind of see what device you have connected to the vehicle, and you can make it your primary phone within the vehicle's Bluetooth system. You can play your Bluetooth audio, and of course, you can connect to your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on what phone you have. And then phone settings over here is going to allow you to see whether you want to keep or delete any of the devices from the Bluetooth system. Moving on over here to our apps, you have 5 mobile apps: Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, YouTube, as well as mobile apps help. YouTube is going to be a part of this vehicle now for 2025 because this vehicle does have the Android interface. Basically, it's called the Ford experience, the Ford digital experience. And as you can see here, YouTube being a Google product does come now for 2025 standard. Coming over to settings here, this is where you'll be able to cycle through a couple of different things here and make the necessary changes that fits your needs. And they include your radio, phone list, sync navigation, sound, vehicle, clock, personal profiles, your general settings, display, connectivity, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, Ford Assistant, 911 Assist, as well as your valet mode. Starting off here with your settings, we're going to go through just a couple of them so that way you guys get the full understanding. Such as your radio here, it's going to allow you to adjust your FM HD radio if you want that on or off, radio text, and then you have your presets. You have your preset pages here. Vehicle settings here is going to give you things such as your 30-minute max idle, key detection alert, rear occupant alert, easy entry and exit, eco idle, remote start setup, wipers, your power tailgate, lighting, your locks, as well as your mirrors. Coming over here to your sound, this is where you'll be able to adjust different things such as your tone, your balance and fade, your speed compensated volume, as well as your sound mode, which you can have either stereo or surround. Coming over here to your general settings over here, this is where you'll find things such as your language, your temperature unit, measurement unit, tire pressure unit, as well as your software information. Coming over to this side here, this right here is your software updates. It's going to check for any updates. It's going to update the software over the air at times throughout the lifespan of the vehicle, and you can have automatic updates enabled or disabled. You can even have it set to a recurring schedule depending on what your time is going to be like. And then of course you have your update details, which will give you more information about a certain update. You have connectivity here, which is going to deal specifically with your Wi-Fi system, Bluetooth, as well as connected vehicle features and wireless app projection. Vehicle hotspot is going to deal specifically with your data usage, managed devices, as well as to have your vehicle hotspot on or off. Of course, you do have your Ford Assistant, which kind of acts in the same way as Google Assistant or your Alexa. 911 Assist, so if you ever need law enforcement presence, if you're involved in an accident, that's where this comes in handy. Valet mode, of course, is going to lock certain functions of the vehicle without having a valet access it, and of course you'll have to disable that by entering a pin that you set before. To do it, it's set before, you have to do it again afterwards, again, to get that feature disabled. And then coming to features, this is stuff that comes within the vehicle itself. So as you guys see here, you have driver assistance, Pro Power Onboard, zone lighting, towing, owner's manual, as well as record feedback. Driver assistance here is going to be all your safety features that come standard within the vehicle, and they include your auto hold, adaptive cruise control, speed limit assist, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, your rear view camera delay, blind spot information system, trailer side view, parking aid sensors, road cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, as well as your driver alert. And some of these you can enable or disable. You have your Pro Power Onboard, which as you can see is going to allow you to power your tools. It's going to allow you to even run a test as well, which is very nice. And you have your generator mode down there. Zone lighting. Towing information. It's going to give you a connection checklist. You can add a trailer, manage trailers, trailer light check, trailer connection notification, as well as sway control, and your maintenance reminders. And then your owner's manual is going to allow you to consult your owner's manual within the vehicle instead of using the book. And then record feedback is going to allow you to record something via a microphone within the vehicle, which is very cool to see. Now, with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for the infotainment system tour in the 2025 Ford F-150. Now, before we move any further, this does come standard with Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission. Put into reverse, you do get a nice backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. And this truck does come standard with a 360 camera standard. You also have a widescreen view, a split screen view, what's going on behind what you're towing, trailer, as well as your reverse guidance for your trailer. With that being said, moving on down here, we have your volume knob and tuning knobs. We do have your climate control settings down here, as you can see. Heated steering wheel, 3-stage heating, as well as cooling for your front passengers. Your climate control features are going to be up here for your recycling, positioning, max air conditioning, rear air conditioning. Fan speed is right here, as you can see. AC control here, and then max AC. Below that, you do have your USB-C and USB port. You will no longer have the wireless charging pad in the Lariat unless you go up to the 502A. You can close this up here to give it a nicer look. You have 2 cup holders here. Like I mentioned, you have your 10-speed automatic transmission. And of course, one cool thing about this gear shifter is that it can be folded in here by a push of a button, which is pretty nice. And then when you're done and want to lift it back up, just push the button again. And there you go. Now, a couple more things to go through here. You have your Pro Trailer Backup Assist, as well as your Trail Brake Controller. Both of them work in the same way to kind of make sure that you're towing accurately, which is very nice. You also do have a 12-volt outlet here. And you also do have your house plug at the bottom. My apologies, this one does not have the trailer brake controller, but you can get that, I believe, as an option now. You do have your 4-wheel drive controls here, followed by your drive mode selector, which brings us back up to the screen. And they include your normal for balanced everyday driving, slippery for wet, icy, and snowy roads, off-road for a rough, uneven, mixed terrain, rock crawl for low-speed rocks and boulders. You have your tow haul for trailing and heavy payload, eco for efficient driving, and sport for spirited on-road driving. Come over here to your glove box. It is a good amount of storage space, as you can see. Very nice. And you have a little storage area on top of here as well. Now, one of the big things for 25, like I mentioned, is that you do have the synthetic leather now, which again is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but you do have the perforations coming down here, so it does give you at least a nice thing to look forward to when you sit in the vehicle. And overall, it doesn't look too bad at all. So overall, a pretty decent job by Ford for at least making a somewhat decent quality seat. Come over here to your glove compartment. Good amount of storage space. And you have a little top portion here, as you can see. You do have your mirror here. You do have your overhead light controls here, as well as your sunglass holder. 3 garage home link right here, followed by your mirror, lighting, as well as your visor. And to the left here, as you can see, you're going to have your controls for your headlight controls. This is to open up the gas tank. This is to open up the third quarter window, as well as your gauge dimmer switches, electronic parking brake, and your gear level adjuster right here. And so with that being said, guys, for 2025, while these changes are pretty minor, they're still pretty important to point out, as I mentioned before. And so with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat. Coming into the back, materials do follow through in this one, as you can see. You are going to have 2 seat pockets. You're going to have one right here and one right over here where the window sticker is, which we'll go through at the end of the video. You do have your 2 cup holders here, outlet, rear vents, 2 USB ports down here, followed by a 120 watt house plug-in. You also have an additional set of cup holders here with a powered armrest. This one here does have your Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, making it easier to fill up at the gas station. And here's an illustration of how to do it. The Lariat trim level of the F-150 does come with LED taillights in the back. And for 2025, this is another continuation of a feature they offered last year, and that's the split tailgate, which I'll demonstrate that in a second. You have your parking sensors down here, you have your dual exhaust tips, and you do have a tow hitch. I will post how much this vehicle tows and everything when I edit the video. Soft opening tailgate. As you can see, as we come inside, we do have a spray and bed liner from the factory, which is very nice. LED cab lighting right here, as well as right here. Your Pro Power onboard right over here. And you do have a ruler, just in case you need one. Now, to open up the split tailgate, you look at this arrow here, and it opens up like that. So if you don't need to open up the entire tailgate and put stuff in, you just do this, and you'll be able to put stuff into the bed a bit more efficiently and easier. Under the hood of the Ford F-150, this one here in particular, we're taking a look at a 3.5 liter Power Boost V6. It produces 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be through a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one here is four-wheel drive. All right, guys, so back in the F-150 here, and we are going to try and do this a bit quickly because it is about to rain. So let's try and get through this. 2025 F-150 4x4 Super Crew with the 3.5 liter Power Boost full hybrid motor. The 10-speed hybrid electronic 10-speed automatic transmission. Finish off in space white metallic with a black ActiveX interior. And as we come down to the bottom, like I mentioned, this one does have the 501A package for $2,670. The engine itself is for $1,900. The Lariat Black Appearance package for $1,150. The FX4 off-road package, which does include your skid plates and your tray-style bed liner for $1,095. And the bed utility package, which includes the Pro Access tailgate, which is what that is actually called, for $1,620. This one does have a base price of $63,360. Options comes in at $8,535. You do get the Power Boost hybrid discount of $1,900, plus a destination and delivery charge of $1,995, for a total of just under $72,000 at $71,990. Fuel economy for this vehicle comes in at 22 city, 24 highway, and 23 combined. And this vehicle does get 5 out of 5 5 out of 5 rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Overall, while there are minor changes for the 2025 F-150 Lariat, it is still a pretty cool truck to check out, and I overall enjoyed it. With that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for the walk around and tour of the 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat, finished off here in Space White Metallic with the ebony ActiveX leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.